I've been trying to do this all day. This laundry is still not done. I am gonna get it done. I wanna tell you how you can get your laundry done too with ADHD. I'm going to explain how to do it step by step. The first thing that you wanna do when you start doing laundry is to separate your clothes into different piles. You're gonna have one pile that is white, one pile that is dark, and one pile that is light colored clothes. Now, the reason you want to do this is for a couple different reasons. One is going to break down the bigger laundry pile into smaller laundry piles, and smaller laundry piles are easier to manage. The other reason that you want to do this is because if you put dark colored clothes in with white colored clothes, dark colored clothes may have the effect of doing color bleed, and what that means is the dark colored clothes, that color that they are, bleeds over or actually affects the color of the white colored clothes, and then you get like a white shirt that's pink, a white shirt that's blue, or whatever other color you have in your dark colored clothes. The next thing that you want to do is check for any special washing instructions on your clothes. For shirts, it's generally on a little tag inside your shirt. You look there and it will tell you if you wash it in cold water, hot water, if it needs to be in a delicate cycle or anything like that. And all your different clothes will have this tag within them, whether it's pants or dress or whatever it is that you're trying to wash. And sometimes the washing instructions will say dry clean only. You have to take that piece of clothing to the dry cleaner to get it dried and washed and everything. And if there are any washing instructions for a particular piece of clothing, you want to make sure you remember and your washing machine is white. What you want to do is you can actually use a dry erase marker and actually write them right on the washing machine. Make sure you test this because you don't want to write on your washing machine with a dry erase marker and then it mess up your washing machine. You do not want to write with a permanent marker. Do not do that because that can be a very bad situation. So this is just an easy way for you to have some place to write those things down without having to remember it. And now before you start filling your washing machine up with water and getting everything ready, make sure you have some type of detergent to wash your clothes. Doesn't matter what type, just whatever you like. I like Tide Pods. They're just easier for me than having the liquid detergent. If that's what you like, use that. But make sure you have something and you haven't like gotten ready to get everything and then have to stop and then go to the store and get detergent because you have none in your home. And something else, when you notice that you've run out of laundry detergent, don't think you're going to just remember it when you have ADHD. What you want to do is write it down somewhere that you need laundry detergent. Take a sticky note, put it by your door, need laundry detergent, so that you remember the next time you go to the store, you need to pick up some. Now, something else you want to make sure you do before you get all the water inside there, but you can do it after the water's inside there, you want to go through all your pockets and make sure there's no paper in there, there's no pens. Pens are really bad in your pockets because if you have light clothes in there and a dark colored pen and it starts just going around the washing machine or the dryer, then all that ink can get on your clothes, and with paper it just breaks up and just gets all of your clothes like lint everywhere, and so it's hard to go through and kind of pick the paper off and everything. So you want to actually check your pockets and make sure there's nothing in there that needs to be taken out before you actually get the water in there and start the washing machine. And here's something else to do before you put your clothes in the washer. You want to actually use stain remover if you actually have a stain in your clothes. This I use Shout, but you can use whatever you want. They have Tide pens, whatever you want to use to try to get the stains out of your clothes before you wash them and kind of pre-treat them before you put them in the washing machine. And then as they wash, that stain may come out, and that's a good thing because then you'll save some clothes that you may think that you can't salvage because it has a big stain on it. Now, the next thing that you want to do is make sure all your settings and options on your washing machine for this particular load are correct. They may change on the next load, and then you change them. Then you want to make sure you know how much water you have in there. Do you have detergent in there? Do you have fabric softener? You need that. Does it need to be on this delicate cycle? And all those different things need to be checked, and double check them to make sure that you're good to go. And then you're able to go ahead and start your washing machine. And oh, make sure you have detergent in your washer before you start as well, because otherwise you're just gonna have wet clothes at the end of everything and nothing will have got clean if you forget to put detergent in your washer. And I'm not saying I've done that before, but I've done that before. Now, most washing machines have some sort of timer to remind you how long something's gonna take, and then it beeps when the clothes are all done and washed. But that may not be the best thing to rely on, because you may get distracted. You may go do something else. You may say, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and then come back and I'll get my clothes then. But what if you come back and forget the clothes are in there, and then they're in there for hours or even a day or 2 days, and then you've got just these wet clothes that have been in your dryer for all that time, and then they have to be re-washed. So my suggestion is to actually have an extra timer. I like the time timer. It's a visual timer, but have it somewhere that's going to also go off to remind you to come and check the clothes, to make sure you don't forget that they're in the washing machine. Now, once your clothes are done being washed and get ready to put them in the dryer, before you do that, check the lint trap on the dryer to make sure that there's not a lot of stuff in there, because if it gets too full and with all the heat coming from the dryer, you could have a fire on your hands, and you don't want a fire in your dryer. So what you want to do is to actually just make sure that you clean all the stuff off your lint trap and then put it back in there before you start your dryer. And here's something important to remember. Make sure your clothes actually make it into the washer and make it into the dryer. And the reason I say this is because if you have an opaque one and you think your clothes are already in there, you start your washer, you've washed nothing. If you start your dryer, then you dried nothing. And I've done this before, to where I put my clothes into the dryer, or I thought I put my clothes into the dryer, and I just have an opaque, lid on my dryer. So I thought, oh, I'll go in and start my clothes, and I have actually dried my clothes 3 times, because my dryer takes that many times to actually dry clothes sometimes, and there were no clothes in the dryer. And so I felt like not very smart at that point. Now, once your clothes are done drying, what you want to do is you want to immediately go over there, take them out of the dryer, and then fold them, or hang them up so that they don't get wrinkled, because the longer they stay in your dryer, then the more of a chance they have to be wrinkled, and then you have to dry them again, or you have to iron them. Neither, which is fun, because now you're wasting time waiting for the dryer to go again. Now, if you don't know how to iron, I do have a video on that. I'll put up on the screen. You just click that and we'll take you to that video so you can learn how to iron. Now, you don't have to iron. You can also use a steamer, and something that you can do, instead of folding your towels, you can actually roll your towels. All you do is fold one once over like this, and then from there you just start rolling everything. And as you roll and roll up, it gets into a roll, and once you get done, it's gonna look pretty neat all together, just like that. And then that's just an easier way for me to do it, because I don't have to really pay attention as much as folding everything over and making sure everything's perfect. And if you're at the point that you just can't get started doing your laundry, or you just feel really demotivated, then this is a way that can help you get that motivation. You want to use body doubling, call a friend over, say, hey, come over, hang out, I'll buy pizza, and that's a bribe, I guess. But they'll go ahead and tell them to come on over and just be around you, and their presence being there will help you get motivated to start doing your laundry, and then hopefully complete your laundry as well. And hopefully, if everything works out, they'll help you actually do your laundry as well too, to make it even faster to get done and have everything completed. And here's something else. Now that you know how to make your laundry process ADHD friendly, I do have a video on how to make your room ADHD friendly. I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Just click it and watch that video.